Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Wahar, Rakar, Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and men that taught me this truth through the Spirit. Peace and blessings to the elect of the house of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. This is in response to the brother Micah Allah, GMS, Behold, I come quickly. GMS Motivation and Inspiration, or GMS Behold I Come Quickly, and he just did a video called Motivation, and it sparked my spirit, because I was spiritually down. Cross dropped me down to my knees. And that's just a part of the journey. Even Yahweh Shah, when he bared the cross and he took all those lashes and stripes, he dropped down. The cross became overbearing. But what does the scripture say? Even with the hell, he maketh a way for us to escape it, that we may be able to bear it. So he had Joseph of Arimathea, Simon, the Simon the Canaanite, I believe, which was an Israelite, that helped him carry the cross. So that shows you that even though we have spiritual lows, even though the cross feel like it's overbearing, and that we're worn out, like the Apostle Ramla just did that lesson, and you feel like you can't carry the cross, and you feel forsaken, and everything else under the sun, you don't think you're a man of the Lord, and you think you're wicked, the Most High still makes a way for you to still serve Him, because the Most High is going to get His glory, no matter what. And we are going to glorify the Lord in these corruptible bodies, if His Spirit permits. So I just got a couple of scriptures I want to go into, because these are the scriptures that the Lord gave us to be able to bear our crosses, so we can continue to press towards that mark. And I pray and hope that it's edifying and motivating and exhortating. Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, the 2nd chapter. My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. And when you look up the word temptation, and you break it down into its etymology, it just means to be tried, to be tested, right? It says to desire, one of the definitions is to desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. So you're constantly going to be tested, right? You're going to be tested. Is this really worth it? You're going to be tested. Am I a man of the Lord? You're going to be tested. Is the Lord dealing with me? You're going to be tested with these thoughts. Doesn't mean they're your thoughts, but these are the thoughts that's popping into your head with your voice, which is the spiritual demon Satan. So just like Yahweh Shah combated Satan with the scriptures, we have to do the same thing. So this is why it's important to always continue to feast on Yahweh Shah, eat the roll, and fellowship with the rest of the body, because the rest of the body has the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah upon them as well. And when the body comes together, you become whole. You're not divided, you become whole, you become one, right? And where the scriptures say, when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, He's in the midst of us. So it says, when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul to be tested, to be tried out, right? Set thy heart aright, meaning set your mind aright, prepare yourself, because this ain't going to be a cakewalk. The scriptures speak about that straight and narrow path that only one man can enter at a time. And that's what this truth is. That's what it feels like when you're catching your hell. Even though brothers may be checking up on you, brothers may be visiting you, brothers may be helping you. You, in your mind, is, when you in your head, it's just you, yourself, and the Lord, and the demons you fighting, and the angels that's around you. It's a whole spiritual combat going on, right? Spiritual warfare going on. So it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. What does endure mean? To make hard, right? So you got to constantly just take the blows, rope-a-dope, you know, rope-a-dope, you know, because remember, it's going to be times you're going to be on fire, and there's going to be times when you're on offense, there's going to be times you got to play defense. You're not going to be on offense all the time, you know. So sometimes, you know, you ain't got the right answers, and, you know, the Satan's kicking your ass, and you know, you ain't productive like you used to be, you know, whether your job is, you know, you working 12-hour shifts and you tired all the time from work, and then you got your family hell and everything else under the sun. You know your hell, you know what you're going through, but you just got to eat it. You got to eat it. And what does Apostle Gabar like to quote? We will bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned. So we just taking it, man. Whatever the Lord throws at us, we just got to take. Like we got a choice of the matter. But we got to constantly endure, right? It says that thou mayest be increased. No, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. So, you know, be patient, you know, and this is what the Lord is trying to teach us. Patience, you know, be easy, you know. Be easy, right? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed in a low estate. O Salakia, it says, cleave on to him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in the last end. See, unlike these other groups that's looking for the fame and the glory now, that's looking for the instant gratification now, right? It says, cleave on to him and depart not away. So when you in your spiritual lows, don't depart, right? When you feel like the Lord ain't deal with you, still believe, right? When you thinking that, you know, you ain't being productive, you still believe. You still keep believing. You still keep pushing. You still got to lay your bricks and give diligence to make your call of election sure when you in defense, right? So it says, cleave on to him and depart not away, that thou mightest be increased in the last end. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking to be increased in the last end when Yahushua returns. When the days of evil present themselves, that's where we're looking for the Lord's promises. We're not looking for the praises, the corruptible praises of men. We're not looking at the praises of the world. We're not looking for the glorification and the satisfaction from the masses of these peoples in podcasts and interviews. We are looking for the glorification from the heavens. So it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou changed in the lower state. Like I said, there's times when you're on offense, you're on fire. There's times you got to be on defense. When the Lord is, you know, chipping away at whatever old man is still on you. You know, whatever wickedness is still in you. You know, got to be patient. Because that's a part of the fruits of the Spirit. That's a part of the things that the Lord is trying to make his elect. Well, that's what the Lord is looking for in his elect. Someone that's long-suffering and patient. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So gold is tried in the fire. You know, gold has got to constantly be purged of its impurities, of all the dust and the rocks and the other minerals and materials that's mixed with it, so it can shine, right? When you look up this word adversity, it says difficulties or misfortune. So, damn gooks. So it says, when thou changed it to a lower state, for gold is trying to find an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So adversity is difficulties and misfortunes, right? So this is what the Lord has us in. Difficult positions, misfortunes, a series of unfortunate events like that damn book and TV show. We're constantly, every quarter we turn around, it's a misfortune. It's an unfortunate event. Everything is always something. You just got out of something, you're in something, or you're about to get into something. It's always something, right? The series of misfortunate events. When you look up adversity, some of the synonyms, misfortune, ill luck, bad luck, trouble, difficulty, hardships, distress, disaster, misadventures, suffering, affliction, sorrow, misery, heartbreak, heartache. You got to be tribulation, woe, pain, trauma, torment, torture. This is what serving the Lord is about. That's why the scripture said when you ate the roll, it was sweet in his mouth, but it was bitter in his belly. The Lord, the sweet parts is, you get some certain, likes and, subscribers and, the word of good lesson and, you edifying lesson, which is all the Spirit of the Lord that's on us. It's not of us. But, those are the sweet parts of the truth, the likes and the comments and the positive feedback, the charity. That's the sweet parts of the truth. But the bitter part of this truth is waiting for the Lord's promises to come to pass, waiting for the prophecies to come to pass, waiting for all hell to break loose, right? Stop going off. Stop sinning. That's the bitter parts of this truth, right? Still got to deal with these unbelievers and perverse people every day. That's the bitter part of this truth. It's a lot of bitter more than just sweet. But that's the Lord is balance. The Lord is balance. So I'm going to get this last scripture and I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, I'm trying to build myself back up. You lose your footing when you're on defense, but then you got to find your footing again. You got to remember your first love, right? So Acts chapter 9, verse 17. Now I'm going to start from verse 10. It says, and there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias, this is Yahushua speaking to him, and he said, behold, I am here, Lord. And the Lord and Yahushua said unto him, Ananias, go to the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth, and he have seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him, that he might receive sight. And Ananias answered, and have heard by many of this man how much evil he have done to thy saints in Jerusalem. This is Ananias saying, like, nah, yo, Lord, this dude was getting us killed for believing upon you. And he have authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. You got Jake out here talking about, the name is works. Yes, it's more than, it's threefold. See, it's all about context. Sometimes it could be talking about a title or a man's works. But what is this talking about? It says, and here have the authority from the chief priest to bind up all that call on thy name. So you think they just out there, heal the blind, heal the sick? No, they saying Yahushua. They're saying his name. Jake just got to stop being simple. But it says, but the Lord said unto him, go thy way. He is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles. This is Israelites that's in the Gentile state of mind. And kings and the children of Israel. Okay? So this is this is Yahushua giving Ananias a commandment to go see Saul, which later name was turned to Paul. Here's the point. For I will show him great things he must suffer for my name's sake. And we are in that same lot, in that same stead, in that same straight walk, right? For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. And this is all this is. This is the great suffering for the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We got to suffer to be purified. We got to suffer to call upon the Lord to be saved. We can't be perfect. We can't be strong, right? We have to be broken. We got to be traumatized. We got to be sick for the Lord to get his glory. So the miracle could be performed and the name of the Lord could be glorified on the earth. So, endure hardness as good soldiers, as good champions for Yahweh's sake. I pray and hope that y'all was edified. Once again, this is a response to the brother Micah Allah. GMSBehold, I come quickly. I think it's GMS Inspiration and Motivation. I'll leave the link in the description box. I pray and hope that you was edified. Until next time I say shalom. On to the next.